Thank you, Peter. But I really want to follow up on what Peter said. I think Peter's pointing out that, the problem with the Republicans and the president right now is they're just too negative. They don't think the federal government can do anything. You know that we have had our issues conference. We're in the middle of it as we're here. And I think what's been coming out of that issues conference is that Democrats feel very optimistic about the future and are thinking about the future. Those of you who listened in the media to Vice President Biden's speech yesterday talked about how optimistic he was about the future. And I think that's what we believe as Democrats. The federal government can make a difference, and we can make a difference for the economy by investing in infrastructure. Investing in infrastructure pays back so many times in terms of jobs, the economic engine, and that's what this is all about. But I wanted to just talk specifically about the energy and commerce jurisdiction because Peter, of course, is stressing transportation, but infrastructure involves a lot of other things. We in Energy and Commerce actually put forward a proposal early last year that included broadband and energy efficiency and a whole bunch of things, safe drinking water, brownfields. And the bottom line was that we feel strongly that this is an important part of the infrastructure needs, an important part of the investment in the future. And I just want to thank our message people, Sherry and David and Hakeem, because that's incorporated essentially in the better deal. The one thing I really wanted to stress, though, was broadband, because I think that high-speed broadband connection is an essential part of life and so important to Americans if they're looking for a job, or if they're looking to better themselves with education, whatever it happens to be. And we know we have this rural-urban divide. We know that there are many people in urban areas, many people in rural areas who are not connected. The figures say right now that more than 10 million urban Americans and 23 million rural Americans lack access to broadband networks. And we want to unlock these communities so that they have access. So I'm stressing mainly an investment in broadband, maybe something like $50 billion investment in broadband, which I think would bridge this rural-urban divide. But I did want to mention also a safe drinking water component, also within energy and commerce jurisdiction. We know that Flint highlighted the problem with safe drinking water and the need to upgrade and expand the infrastructure, not just in Flint, but all over the country, including New Jersey, my home state. And finally, energy. We can do so much more in terms of energy efficiency, putting emphasis on renewables. This relates to the climate debate, obviously, but it also relates to jobs, because energy efficiency really means not only that you create more jobs in actual construction, but also you bring costs down, because more efficient energy ultimately leads to lower costs for the consumer. So these things are all good. They all reinforce each other in terms of improving the economy and creating jobs and making it possible to bridge that urban-rural divide with regard to broadband. And next, for the education component, I want to introduce Bobby Scott.